Good evening, everybody, and welcome to episode 27 of the Knights of the Turntable podcast. I'm your host, Richard Bailey Jr., and tonight I am joined by Mr. Joe Hova.
What's up? Good to be back.
Yes, always good to be back. Hopefully no controversy tonight. I know we like to get controversial on here, but we'll see what happens. And we have Mr. Matthew McDaniel.
What up?
What's up, Matt? We
Nah,
also have a special
not a
guest.
whole lot.
We also have a special guest, Madison. Matthew's girlfriend, Madison. How you doing, Madison?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes. Welcome to the show. For those of you that are wondering, where is Mr. Charles Singletary at? Well, right now he is battling the Ebola virus. I hope that he recovers because it's very serious what he's going through now. And I myself have allergies, so I look a little jacked up on camera now. So just remember that when you look at this. And say, he was looking kind of rough that day. You damn right I was looking rough. But I'll be all right. So like I said, though, this is our cast for now for tonight's show. I'm sure Charles will have some feedback the next show, so I look forward to whatever he says. But before we jump into the topics, I wanted to ask, what has everybody been listening to? I guess you can go first, Joe.
I was listening a little bit earlier. I had to do an interview for my website, and there's this dude named Jay Nolan. Charles actually put me onto his music. So I was listening to some of his music. He's really talented, pretty good. You can stream it on Spotify. That's where I was listening because I was listening at work. And then I mean, that's pretty much it. Like, I can't remember, because I've been watching the playoffs, so I haven't really been listening to music as much as I used to before the playoffs started. So yeah, that's about it right now.
I gotta ask a real quick question before I go to Matthew. So, which team are you rooting for in the playoffs?
Well, I have stress-free basketball playoffs because Orlando didn't make it again, so that's kind of cool. So I really want to see the Warriors win it. I think that would be pretty cool because Steph is just amazing this year. But yeah, I want the Warriors. I feel like the Spurs are going to do it, though.
Listen, I got respect for the Spurs, but I would love to see the Warriors as well. It's time for some new blood to take over.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Let's get back on topic, though. So, Matthew, what you been listening to?
I've been spinning that new Ludiverse. I'm sorry. I really, really like that record. Some Mick Jenkins, and then pretty much everything else that's in my normal rotation as far as hip hop's concerned. Stuff like Atmosphere, Tech Nine, things of that sort.
Sounds good. How about you, Madison?
I've been listening to mostly Atmosphere, George Watsky. I spun his records a couple times. Atmosphere as well. Oh, I already said Atmosphere. Matt turned me on to Kanon.
Oh yeah, I listened to that too.
Yeah. And I love Tech Nine. So that's what I've been pretty much listening to.
That's cool. Allow me to say right now, I have no idea who most of those people are, so I have to step up my knowledge. I mean, I know Tech Nine.
Right.
Atmosphere, I will tell you what, I will listen to them. I will listen to the artists that you suggested, and I'll have something to say about that next week because I need to hear something fresh.
Check out. It's not really fresh anymore. It's like 10 years old now. But check out Kanon's "The Dusty Foot Philosopher." It's a record. Just spin it if you can find it. Spin it from front to back. It's a great fucking record.
I got you. Cool. I'll definitely do that. I've been listening to some of the same music. I've been listening to, of course, Kendrick Lamar, the king of hip hop right now, regardless of what everybody is saying, I guess. I listened to that new De La Soul Nas track that's on the site right now. Awesome track, great collaboration. Listening to J. Cole, the new video he dropped today. I just want to say something about that video, Wet Dreams. I was not expecting him to take that approach to that video, so I was very entertained by that. I give him props.
I haven't seen it yet. That should have been on the list. That dropped today, didn't it?
I saw the premise of it, but I still haven't watched it. I'll probably check it out after the show is over.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not anything. I mean, I thought it was more so comical than serious because of the way that it was approached, but it was okay. But I mean, yeah, that's pretty much all I've been listening to thus far. I tried to listen to Big Sean some more. I know you guys talking about the latest album was fire. I just can't. It's just not registering with me yet. So I have to continue to listen to a few other things. But I will check out Atmosphere. And you said Kanon?
Kanon, yeah.
Okay, I'll check that out.
Atmosphere, you should probably start with When Life Gives You Lemons, Paint That Shit Gold.
Okay. I like that. That sounds good. I like that title. Yeah. All right, I'm going to check that out. So, let's jump right into the main topics. We have a very light list this week. First and foremost, we know that there's a song that dropped today featuring Tech Nine, Eminem, and what is it, Chris
Calico.
Chris Calico. Okay, yeah. So, see, yeah, like I said, you guys know these people's names a little bit more efficiently, so definitely correct me if it's wrong. But yeah, song is on the site right now. It's called Speedom, Worldwide Choppers 2. Charles wanted to pose the question of, who do we think delivered the best? I'm going to save my opinion for last, so whoever wants to go first. You want to go first, Joe? Or Matt?
Let's let Madison go first.
Yeah,
let's hear.
Yeah, okay, yeah, let's do that. Go ahead, Matt.
Overall, I think Chris did the best job, although Eminem's verse was pretty much on point. But Tech Nine, as always, his schemes were like the best I've heard so far from him. But just the flow of Chris is one of my favorites in that track.
Cool. Sounds good. So, how about you, Matt?
As far as delivery is concerned, I gotta give it to Chris on that one, man. I thought Chris's triple time was just fucking nasty. I mean, it's always nasty, but it was very well fit for that track. I gotta give it to M2 as well. That's been a long time coming. I know that Tech's been trying to set up a collaboration with M for a long time now. And it just hasn't worked out due to schedules and whatever else, other nonsense. And my thing with
What was that? We had you still there?
yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I think it cut out
Hello?
for a second. Repeat that. It cut out for a quick second. Repeat what you said.
All right. From which part?
You said you started talking about Tech.
All right, yeah. I just felt that Tech was kind of exactly what you expect from Tech. And I felt that the reason I think that Chris had the best delivery on that is not only was Chris a little bit above the bar of the other two artists in that track, I thought Chris was even a little bit above his own bar. You know, like it was top quality Chris. Whereas Tech and M, it was just pretty much exactly what you expected. Track was good. I felt Chris's delivery was just a notch above.
Interesting. Yes, very much so. So, Mr. Joe Hova, if we're not having any connection issues, please do feel free to tell us what you thought.
We're good now. We're good now. I listened to the track like right before I came on, and I wanted to do that because I always listen to these songs like a day in advance, like before we do it, or like hours in advance, and then I forget everything about it. And so I waited for right till the last minute, and I have to say that like that song makes me want to go check out more Tech Nine because like I haven't been that big of like into his music. Like, I know that the Lil Wayne song gave him kind of like the national nod, I guess, but he's been killing it in the independent game for years. I got to give it to Tech on that one. Like I think I was more impressed with him than all the other ones. But they were like It's like picking your favorite kid or picking your favorite niece or nephew. Like it's like almost impossible to do.
I could see where you're coming from though. Like, if you're not really that familiar with Tech, like, and you hear Tech's flow and the way he schemes and puts things together, and his delivery, if you haven't listened to a lot of Tech, I can easily see where you go, Tech's the clear-cut winner here. The only reason I say no is because if you go and listen to pretty much every single Tech record, and he's done a lot. That dude has dropped a lot of records. It's pretty much exactly what every other Tech 9 song is. Like, he doesn't really change up his content. He doesn't really change up his flow patterns. It's just, you know, it's a B. You know, like it's a B average. It's exactly what you expect from Tech.
Yeah.
No less, no more.
Yeah. So let me ask you then, who has more music out, Gucci Mane or Tech 9?
Oh God. Probably still Gucci Mane. like still probably still Gucci.
Listen, you pronounced it wrong. It's Gucci Mane.
Gucci Mane. Yeah, Gucci Mane.
That's it. Yeah. You can't talk properly either. Let me just say this real quick. I agree with what Joe said. I mean, I listened to this track right before the show. I'm not going to sit here in front and say I've been listening to this in anticipation for the show. I cannot tell a lie.
I listened to it right before too.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, yeah, you did too. Yeah, you're right. You did, because we did discuss this. I find it very difficult to compare every single artist to try to say which one was best. I thought they all did an excellent job. Tech 9, great. I mean, I don't really know much about Chrissy or Chris, but I thought he did a good job. And of course, Eminem, you know, I still enjoy his Rap God song. So, you know, I think
I love Rap God.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's still doing his thing. So I got to give him props for that. But trying to choose which was better, man, I have to listen to it a couple more times to come to that conclusion. 'Cause, I mean, I thought they all delivered. I really like.
I think we're in agreement that it's a pretty good track.
Yeah.
Very good track.
Yeah.
I would like to hear what else is this a compilation, or is this going to be off one of their new albums or something like that?
I honestly don't know. I know Worldwide Choppers is something that he does. I think that was off 6s and 7s. Yeah, all 6s and 7s. So that might make it a new record. Tech 9 just recently dropped another track about a month ago where he gets a little political, which is kind of unique for him at least. So maybe he's ramping up for a new record. Probably.
Wow. Okay. So I look forward to that. I do want to say something about the politics as the next segue point. But before I do that, does anybody else have any other thoughts on this particular song, the collaboration, so on and so forth?
That's the first Eminem verse that I've liked in probably 5 years.
Oh, come on, man.
Man, come on.
Like, I felt like that was like a really, like, he needed the competition.
Uh-oh. He needed the competition.
Yep.
I can agree with that.
So
I thought it was just cool to hear 3 fast spitters on the same track.
That's what I thought. So, you know, that's interesting. Now, is Eminem supposed to be dropping another album this year, or what's going on with that?
I haven't heard anything.
I haven't heard anything, and usually his cycle is longer. Usually he's on a 3 or 4 year cycle. He's got a slow cycle, so I doubt it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's interesting. Well, once again, any other thoughts on this topic before we move on to the next? Because I got a lot to say about the next topic.
Oh, no. Yeah, go ahead. Move on.
Flocka!
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are unaware, 420, a very special day here in the United States of America for some people. I don't know why that is, but you know, puff puff pass. But basically, what ended up happening is Waka Floca announced that he is running for president. Now, I saw this video the other day, and immediately when I saw it, I thought to myself, this has to be a joke. You know, he drops this video on 420, which is known as, you know, this is the day everybody gets high. So I figured, well, he has smoked himself retarded to make such a bold statement that he is running for president. So I don't know if he's serious or jokes. I have to believe it's a joke, but I want to know what you guys think about this latest development that took place earlier this week.
It's good promo, especially if he's going to drop Flockavelli too.
Yeah.
Is that a guaranteed to happen this year?
I don't know if it's supposed to be this year, but I know that he's working on Flockavelli too. So I hope it's this year.
Well, now you say if it's a promotional thing, that yeah, that'll be very interesting if he has some skits on there about presidential stuff. So that's interesting. How about you, Matthew?
I think it's part joke, part serious, right? Like, it is a promo. That first and foremost, like, kind of what I really like about Waka is that Waka doesn't usually take himself too seriously, right? There's a lot of dudes out there that can't spit and think they can spit, and Waka knows he can't spit and will tell you straight up, and just has his energy is just a lot of fun. So I think that's partly what this video was. But I'll bet you he gets some votes out of this. Like, I guarantee he's not going to win, obviously, but I guarantee you somebody's going to write Waka Floca Flame down on that fucking that ballot.
Hell yeah.
And I mean that's good for him. Like what I loved about the video is the setting, right? Like it's in this like kind of office looking kind of thing, and he's just sitting up there rolling up a fucking blunt, like while talking on various issues. I also like that his changes to education would include teaching people more real skills, and you have to know the words to all Flocka songs before you graduate.
I think my favorite part of it was that DJ Who Kid is going to be his vice president.
Yeah, I thought
calls him up on the phone.
That was funny. Yeah, decided to give him a call during the promotional talk. So that was funny.
You know what that did, though? That made me go, like, I went and added Flockavelli to Spotify because I forgot to have it on there because I haven't listened to that album in a long time.
Oh, man. So, yeah, that made you listen to his music again. That's interesting.
Yep.
That's very interesting. What do you think, Madison?
I honestly I want to know what he's got against people with big feet. And dogs in restaurants.
That's a very good question. I have no idea.
Did this just pop up out of one of his smoking sessions of his obsession with big feet? And
maybe he's just jealous that he doesn't have big feet.
That could be it.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. I mean,
that in itself should kind of tell you that it's sort of a joke, right? Like,
oh no,
he's obviously not taking himself seriously. That doesn't mean he's not going to. I think he should run with this. Fuck it, campaign, right? Like, if you got the backing to do it and you've got the time, it's super good promotion.
So let me ask you a question then. Since you said that, do you honestly believe that the world is ready for a rapper as the president of the United States?
I'm curious whether he gets sponsored by like Cheetos or something.
Yo, I would vote for Flocka.
That's interesting.
But I also said I would vote for 2 Chainz.
Well, you know what? Let me ask you a question.
You would vote for 2 Chainz, though, wouldn't you?
I would. Remember, because 2 Chainz they were talking about him running for mayor of his hometown, and I said definitely I would vote for 2 Chainz.
Well, you know what? Let me ask you a question since you brought that topic up. Well, what are some other artists that you think would, I guess you say, rally the masses if they were to say, yeah, I want to run for president as well?
I feel like that's Immortal Technique's lane. Like, I feel like if Immortal Technique ran for president, like he would like have that conscious effort behind him, and like it
Immortal
could do
Technique
something.
would take it a joke though. Like, if Immortal Technique announced that he was running for president, I would in no way think he was joking.
Yeah, and see, that's what I'm saying is like everybody would think that he's serious.
I probably wouldn't vote for him either, but.
Whoa. Wouldn't vote for him either.
No, partly because, all right, the reason I'd vote for Flocka is because Flocka isn't taking himself seriously, right? He's not building a serious platform. His platform is in no way, like, I would vote for Flocka simply, or 2 Chainz or any artist like that, simply as a protest vote because I don't necessarily relate to the candidates out there. If Immortal Technique was running, he would be probably running as a serious candidate, and then I would actually seriously have to consider whether or not to vote. Because he would run on a real platform, right? Like I think it would be more akin to a Ronald Reagan kind of situation where, somebody that was in the spotlight or is in the spotlight to an extent, seriously makes an effort to run, right? Like, so I would have to evaluate and judge him based on his merits and his platform, which is not something I have to do with Waka, because obviously Waka's not taking himself seriously.
Yeah.
That's true. No, that's interesting. Well, as I said before, I'm pretty sure, yes, it was a joke. It had to be a joke. Can't be serious because of the day that it dropped on. That was the whole reason why I say, yeah, this got to be a joke. Ain't no way in hell this guy say, yeah, I'm going to run for president. Nah, son.
I think you should run with it, though. Like, it's good publicity. He may as well play it out, see what happens.
Oh, no, it is good. It is very good for that. So, we'll see what his long-term plans are. If it is with the intent of dropping an album, like Joe said, well, yeah, that's a hell of a way to get people's attention. So hopefully that is what it is. But
more importantly, even if it's not, it keeps him in the spotlight and relevant, right? Like, even if it's not to promote new music necessarily, it still keeps us talking about Waka Flocka, and that's exactly what any artist or celebrity or anyone that's a public figure wants, is they want to be talked about. They want to stay a public figure. Yep. So even if it's not promotion for a new album, it's still a success because people are talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
This is true. Well, yeah, we are talking about it, so it is a success. Yeah, so interesting. Does anybody have any final thoughts on Waka Flocka for 2016?
Nope, I'm good.
We're good. We're good. All right.
I'm good.
The next topic. This is going to be a topic that I know Matthew was very interested in when he looked at this particular list. Billboard has unveiled the top 100 songs of all time, and we now have the top 10 in our possession. So we're going to go through these tracks and see what you guys think about, what you all think about what is in the top 10, because I think some of these picks are pretty interesting. We'll start with number 10. The Humpty Dance by Digital Underground.
I mean, that has to be on there.
It has to be on there.
Oh yeah, it has to. Yeah, that's classic.
Like when I have, when my nieces are old enough, I'm teaching them the verses to that. Like you have to walk around. My name is Humpty, pronounced with an umpty. Like you have to finish that.
You're right. But let me just say this right now. Many times on this show, I am criticized for my classical taste in music, for the old school stuff like this. So this is excellent to see this song on this top 10. I just want to point that out. Now, Matthew, you have anything to add?
Yeah, actually, I've got one thing to add. In that song, he says, "And please allow all the rappers in the top 10. Please allow me to bump thee." He literally bumped somebody off the 10th slot.
Bro.
Literally.
Yep, this is true. We did just that.
He bumped somebody else off. Somebody else could have been in that slot. Nope. There's Digital Underground, the Humpty Dance.
You have any thoughts, Madison?
I think it's appropriate. I mean, to collectively, for the 25th anniversary, it makes sense.
Yes. Yeah. I had no problem with that at number 10. So,
It's an iconic song.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, I remember that song. I mean, just like you said, I remember that song specifically because of the way they put it together. So, classic. Stands the test of time, in my personal opinion. So, let's go on to number 9 from you guys, one of you guys' favorite artists, Waka Flocka Flame, featuring Roscoe Dash and Wale, No Hands.
I'm actually kind of surprised this made the list.
Yeah, me too. Like, I was looking at that list, and yeah.
Listen, I thought Wale was making albums about nothing. So what the hell is he doing in the top 10 on this list? And that's the title of his last album, right? An album about nothing.
Correct. I remember that song was a monster though, because we played it back home for the top 40 station I worked at back home, and that song did not go away for weeks. Like, it was a monster, so I can see it.
It just seems kind of like the oddball. Like, looking at this top 10 list, almost every other one, you're like, yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That one just kind of seems like the oddball.
Oh yeah, well, it definitely does when you look at some of the others on here, without question. Interesting though. Any thoughts, Madison?
I can think of other songs that probably should be on here than that one.
Juvenile's Back That Ass Up.
Oh
yeah.
shit, yeah.
Well, they got something else on here in place of that. So that's funny. All right, so I'm going to stick with you, Madison, on the next one, number 8, Big Papa and Warning, Notorious B.I.G.
I think you almost are obligated to have a Notorious B.I.G. song on this list. Like, I honestly am surprised that it's not higher on the list, just because the influence. I don't know the particular song. I know Big Papa, of course, but
You know Warning, too.
I'm sure I do. I'm not really
Who the
good.
fuck is this? Page of Me at 5.
Oh, that's right, yeah. But I do. I just think it maybe should be a little bit higher on the list, but I'm glad it beat out Waka Floca.
Oh yeah, that would have been disrespectful if that was lower than the Waka Flocka song.
I'm actually shocked that it's Warning and it's not like One More Chance or Juicy.
Yeah.
Warning, I think, is one of the best tracks on that album.
I love
man.
Warning. Warning's like
Warning
my
is
favorite track
fantastic.
on there. But like when you think of Biggie, like you always think Juicy, Big Papa, Hypnotize. Like those are the first 3 songs that come to your mind.
Exactly, which is why it's surprising that none of those songs are on this list. I also hate to make it this way, but I have to ask this question: why is no Tupac song on this list?
I was gonna say that, like, you're obligated to, Madison said you're almost obligated to put a Biggie track on there, right? But you're not obligated to put a Pac track somewhere on there?
Yeah,
Like,
no Tupac.
Where's Hail Mary?
Hey, these are good questions to ask. Very good questions to ask.
I'm actually okay with no Tupac songs being on there.
He's probably somewhere on that list somewhere, because I didn't actually look at all 100. I don't know if anyone else did.
Yeah.
But he's probably on there somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, he had, like, top 100, he's definitely on there a few times.
He's in there somewhere.
But I'm cool with him not being in the top 10.
Yeah, but not in the top 10. I find that very interesting. Yes. That's okay.
What I'm kind of makes... Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead. Continue.
What kind of confuses me is it's the only slot on here that has literally, it's 2 tracks, right? It's Big Papa and Warning. 2 separate fucking tracks.
Where the only thing I can think of is, I can't remember, I mean, we were young as shit when that was actually released as a single, but I can't remember if like that was the B side of Big Papa, was Warning.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think Warning's, in my opinion, Warning is more memorable to me. I literally still have all the words to Warning in my head. I can sit here and just acapella it. I'm not going to, but I have before. I've sat and just got bored and fucking acapellaed Warning. But it just doesn't. It seems kind of odd that it literally there's 2 Notorious. Now we won't discuss it yet but there's another artist on here that has 2 tracks on the top 10.
Yes.
But they're in 2 separate slots. Why is this one in 1 slot?
Skin Collar.
Hey.
Is that it, you think?
Maybe. I don't know. We'll get to it though.
Yeah, we are gonna
Yeah.
get to that. So from Big Papa, we're gonna go to number 7, Mr. Craig Mack, Flavor in Your Ear.
I am so glad this made the fucking list. Like this is one of my favorite hip hop tracks from that era, and because of it released right near Ready to Die, like it just kind of got washed over. But I fucking love this song.
Yeah. No disrespect to Craig Mack, but I haven't heard nothing else from him after this song. So
That whole record's pretty good, honestly.
yeah, the record is good. But yeah, it's interesting. What do you think, Joe? Oh, technical difficulties. Okay.
Uh-oh.
How about you, Madison?
I honestly don't really know the track that much. I know more stuff from that era, but that song in particular didn't really stick out to me, really.
Yeah, I only know that song because the beat, everything. They made a big deal about it, and this guy is yelling all over the track.
That futuristic George Jetson.
Yeah, that's it. That's him. That's him. Yeah, the energy and everything. I mean, this guy was supposed to be a huge.
Right.
But unfortunately, as you said, it got washed over with the other stuff that was out. So we did not got it looked over. I mean, they had him in the Biggie.
One of my. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead. Continue.
I was gonna say one of my favorite lines in all of hip hop is in that track. Just like a piece of sizzling, you'll fit inside my stomach with eggs and grits between. Like that shit just makes me crack up every fucking time. I bet your mama miss you, and I bet the Mac take off like an MX missile.
Oh yeah. Hey. So now Joe is back. What did you think about this track, Joe, being on the list?
I just think that I like the song, but I don't think it's top 10 worthy because, like, I don't remember seeing "Summertime" on there. Okay, I thought I was getting booted again. But yeah, I don't remember seeing "Summertime" on there, and so I feel like "Summertime" is like one of those iconic songs that could replace it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not on here. It's a very good point. Well, like I said before, this guy could have been a lot bigger. Unfortunately, no, it wasn't going to happen. But the song is good. I remember it for what it's worth.
It's honestly one of my favorite. Like it's one of my guilty pleasure songs, and I'm actually just really surprised. I'm kind of with Joe on this. I'm surprised it made the list, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in that sense, I'm actually really happy that it did. Like sure, there's probably 100 tracks you could have put in that slot.
Oh yeah.
But I'm glad it made it on that list somewhere.
I agree. So let's move on to the next track. Now I'm personally glad that this did make the list, but I enjoyed this album. Julio, Gangsta's Paradise.
Classic.
I had that on cassette, and I used to bang the shit out of that in my room. I was like 9 or 10, I guess. Like that was my shit when I was like 9 or 10. Like I played that song on repeat so many times, like it pissed my mom off.
Yeah, I mean, that whole album was great. I like a lot of the skits on there were funny. It was very funny skits. Too Hot, that was the other song off that album that I enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
And they had the video for it too. All that stuff was good. What do you think, Matt?
I mean, did you expect it not to be on here? Like, I'm not surprised in any fashion or form that it's on here. And truthfully, Coolio is kind of underrated as is. That's a great sample in that track. It's a great track. It's super iconic. Like anybody that listens to hip hop knows that track.
Yeah.
When your song gets parodied by Weird Al, it has to be on a top 10 list.
Right, exactly. Like, well, what's funny is I think today's generation, the generation that's kind of behind us, they probably know the Weird Al parody better than they know the Coolio version.
Yeah, they do.
That's true.
There was a Teens React.
Oh yeah.
And
oh my god.
Yeah.
They
You
played
saw
that. Yeah.
Joe, you saw that?
Yeah, that made me feel super old.
Oh my god. The only one I didn't get on there was the Mariah Carey track, but
Oh yeah, yeah, that was a good one to watch.
I found myself getting angry at these teens.
I did too. Oh my god.
I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? You don't know this song like they're part."
claimed to be '90s kids and they were born in like 1998.
Oh yeah, well they don't know any better. Then they just didn't get the track down. Hey, this is all good though. I'm glad to see this on the list. Any other thoughts on this song, or should we move on to the next?
Nah, let's move on.
Let's move on to the next. Okay, Salt and Pepper, Expression, number 5. What do you guys think about this being on the list?
It's fitting. It's really it's one of the earlier tracks on the list. Other than maybe
What? Let's talk about sex.
Did we lose Matt?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. I mean, it makes sense. It fits. I don't necessarily relate, it's an alright song. I know Madison really likes Salt and Pepper, but I don't see any reason why it's not on there. It makes sense.
So what do you think, Madison?
I mean, I'm really happy that something from Salt and Pepper made this list. I understand that they're not, technically speaking, like their raps aren't exactly the most advanced, but I mean they were a big part of the '90s. Like I remember being, I don't know, really young and wore the crap out of it. So I'm really happy to see it on this list.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's absolutely. I think they needed to be on the list because yes, it's Salt and Pepper. Although
I was hoping Push It was gonna be on there because then I could make a difference.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Push It. Yeah.
Yeah, because like I mean Push It's the most popular, of course. But then like if you have a song that like Dipset sampled and made their own, like that should be on this list at some point too.
For sure.
Agreed. Push It real good.
Yeah, I mean the reason, and that song is kind of back in fashion because of that. I think it's a Geico commercial or it's some sort of insurance commercial where.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct.
They're looking really good for their age, by the way.
Yeah.
Black don't crack.
Oh, he said black don't crack. Uh-oh. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay. You're right. Interesting. So, let's move on to the next one. Now, I am going to say something a bit controversial, but I'm going to go ahead and say this first. Number 4, Can't Hold Us Down, Macklemore and Ryan Lewis featuring Ray Dalton. Now, let me just say this right now. I have to be honest. I'm not a Macklemore fan. So, y'all will probably have a lot more to say on this topic. Not that I don't like the music he does. It's all right, but it's just, I'm not really into that. I don't know what it is. I just do not like some of the stuff that he does. So, whoever wants to go first on this particular artist, feel free to go ahead.
I guess I can. Without revealing the rest of the list, I think this is kind of overkill.
Whoa.
It seems like it's too much. This is a good song. I just don't think it's anywhere, and I understand that culturally why it's important. And I understand its significance. It almost seems it's the newest. This is one of the newest songs here on this list, right? On this top 10.
Yeah.
In fact, it is the newest song on this list. I just don't. I think it's too soon to be putting it. Maybe somewhere in the 100. Sure, why not? But it seems too soon to be clocking it in at number 4 of all time.
Juvenile's Back That Ass Up did not make the top 10.
No, of course not.
I'm going to keep saying this because that is the greatest song of all time to me.
I feel I think it's got a place in this list somewhere.
I want you like a drink game, your blank game. Yeah, whatever the hell he's saying on that part. Yeah, that's probably why they didn't understand the song in full. That's why they said, no, we're not going to put it on.
Look, when I DJ'd weddings and stuff back home, all I had to do if there was nobody on the dance floor was drop that. And you hear those opening cello strings, and everybody hits the floor. Like, it's crazy what that song does.
But let me ask you a question when you did this. Now, was people who also don't have an ass trying to dance with
Oh, dude, I was DJing, like, white people weddings. Like, of course. Like, they don't have ass.
But that song will still drive people to the dance floor. To this day, it'll still bring people in.
That and the cha-cha slide.
And the cha-cha
Oh,
slide.
yeah, Cha-Cha Slide. Why isn't that on here?
Oh, God.
To the left. Yeah, why the hell isn't that on this list? That's interesting. Maybe it's in the top 100, but it ain't in the top 10.
Maybe. I mean, it kind of does seem odd that there's no songs on this list that have an accompanying, a true accompanying dance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, other than the Humpty. Humpty's got a, but that's almost parody of those dance songs, right? Like, but there's a little bit. I mean,
But I mean,
dance,
Shaq was getting down in that video.
That's true.
The Humpty song is better than the Cha-Cha Slide, so that's okay with me. But yeah, it's I don't know. Also find it interesting. Well, no, I'm not interested. No Tribe Called Quest, none of these other artists. It's very interesting they're not in this top 10, but that's okay. Maybe they are on the 100.
If you notice, almost all the songs on this list, actually pretty much all the ones, at least in the top 10, are all songs that peaked on that chart.
Yeah, you're right. So, yeah, well, you made a good point. So, this is what I'm going to do now. There are three final ones, so I'm going to go over these three relatively quickly. Hot Boys, Missy Elliott, featuring Nas, Eve, and Q-Tip. I'm very glad to see this on this list because big Missy fan, love that song, and I like a lot of the artists that are on this track with her. So I don't have any problems with this being number 3. What do y'all think?
Hey, at least Q-Tip made the list somewhere.
Yeah, and let me say, because you said that, let me say this. Nas is on the list, so he better than Jay-Z. So that's for anybody that comments. Nas is better than Jay-Z, son. So, yeah, go ahead.
There's no Jay-Z track on here anywhere.
Yeah, Jay-Z is not in the top 10, but he's on that list, I'm sure. I didn't see the full 100 list.
I'm going to go read it later for sure, but...
Yeah, so how about you, Joe?
Nas is not better than Jay-Z.
Oh.
But we're not going to get into that.
That's a show on its own.
When you first said Hot Boys, I was thinking, oh man, Bling Bling made the list, and then then you didn't say Bling Bling, and I was just like, oh man. But I like this Missy song. That's like one of my favorite Missy songs, and the remix is freaking phenomenal with all those people on there. So I don't know if it's top 3 material though, because Back That Ass Up didn't make the fucking list.
Yeah, that should have been on there, but they said, but no, the number 2 is gonna make up for that. We'll get to that in a second. Well,
number 2 does indeed make up for that.
Yeah. Number 2 will make up for that. What do you think, Madison? What do you think of this pick?
I'm actually really happy that something from Missy Elliott made it on here. And I have to agree with you guys that Nas definitely should be in the top 3 for sure. But
Yep.
This is one of my favorite tracks as well. I just remember dancing my butt off to this song. I really like this song. I'm glad it's in the top 3 for sure.
Like just when you hear Escobar "See Me on Bikes," like just from that moment, like you know that song is gonna be dope.
Yeah. By the way, I did see you frown when she said Nas should be in the top 3. We will address that on another episode for sure. We talk about when the next time these guys drop an album for sure. So, any final thoughts on this song? We move on to number 2.
Oh, we can move on.
So, number 2, of all the stuff that you kept saying, where is Back That Ass Up? Here it is. Tootsie Roll 69 Boys. Number 2.
I love this song.
Honestly, you know what? I would have rather had the Quad City DJs on that for number 2.
Oh God.
Yeah, you know what? Let me ask you another question. Since this song is on here, you know, you said Back to Ass. I'm starting to think of a lot of other songs that should be on this list.
Mm-hmm.
Why isn't your boys 3 6 Mafia the song they won a Grammy for? This isn't on the top 100 either, or the top 10. Hard Out Here for a Pimp.
And you know what's funny is like that song wasn't that good, and it won an Oscar.
No, but it wasn't good. You saw
an Oscar?
When they
won. They won an Oscar for it.
Really?
Yeah. You saw how the crowd reacted when they won the Oscar. Like, what the hell? This song winning the no. So that was interesting.
Yep.
You mean an Oscar, not a Grammy?
No, like 3 6 Mafia won an Oscar. I think they're the only group to win a Grammy and an Oscar.
Now, just to be clear, the movie that it was for, Hustle and Flow, that didn't win no award. So, you know, but yeah, it did win. That's for that song. So I thought that was interesting. But yeah, any thoughts on Tootsie Roll?
Yeah, it's Tootsie Roll, man. Like, I think that does completely make up for the lack of the Juvenile track. That track's iconic. It's gonna be iconic for a long time. That's another one of those tracks that if you play it on the dance floor, people are still gonna come out for it.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm cool with it.
Cool. All right. Good. So number 1, and here we go. Who could be number 1? Once again, Macklemore and Ryan Lewis with Thrift Shop. So I'm going to once again turn this over to y'all to tell me what do you think about this being number 1, because obviously it is number 1 among all 100 songs. So,
you know, I was gonna call it Trash Boat, but Macklemore fans will like come up and shake my hand and like not be angry with me if I called it trash. But just like it's overkill. It's like Matt said earlier. It's overkill to have 2 Macklemore songs on there. Like they're fairly new. They're not better than Back That Ass Up.
Whoa.
They're not.
Whoa.
They're not that good. So.
Whoa. All right. Let me stop you there. No, I agree. There's no in my opinion there's no reason for 2 Macklemore tracks to make it on this list. With that being said, Thrift Shop, and you're probably going to see that as time goes on, you're probably going to see that this is an incredibly important track as far as the state of the genre is concerned. Not only did it get huge crossover, but it kind of switched the dichotomy. Like up until that point, everything, a lot of rap, not all, but a lot of rap and hip hop has been about consumerism, right? Branding, what you're drinking, what shoes you're wearing, right? And this kind of flipped that on its head with this anti-consumerism message that you didn't see. Not only didn't you see it a lot in hip hop in general, you certainly didn't see it chart top. And I think this is going to be one of those songs that 20 years from now is going to be incredibly important because of what it influences to come.
Mm-hmm. Well, what do you think, Madison?
I agree with pretty much the consensus of that. There's 2 Macklemore tracks on this list, and I do agree that it's kind of overkill. I enjoy the song. I just don't think it's number 1 worthy. Like I understand that it sends a message that you don't have to be rich to kind of be popular, and it does appeal to the hipsters where everything's kind of vintage. You can find vintage crap at Goodwill, but it's relevant now, but I just don't see it being relevant 20 years from now.
Uh-oh.
Macklemore made a song for acid wash jean wearers everywhere.
Oh, he did.
And the skeet blanket.
Yes. Like it blows my mind why people I understand what Matt said about the consumerism and how it flipped it on its head, but it just blows my mind because it's It's annoying. It's an annoying fucking
I love
song.
that. Again, let's be honest. This list is subjective to a point. It seems like they
Oh, of
did take
course.
songs that. Well, it seems like they did take songs that peaked, and they kind of a lot of the ones you'll notice as because I skimmed through the list a little bit just here now. You'll notice as the list goes on, the further down on the charts you'll get. So it almost seems like a lot of it has to do with peak time and peak position. With that being said, that song did peak for a really, really long time.
That's interesting.
I'm okay with it. Again, seeing as it is a subjective list, I'm okay. I understand the reasoning why the editors of this particular list put it at number one, right? Now, I can probably think of some other tracks that, should or could be number one, but I think I understand the reasoning.
I see what you're saying.
How does 50 Cent's In the Club not make the top 10?
Because
we already got a dance track.
Yeah, they already got a lot of dance tracks. Plus, Gary Swaby is a huge 50 Cent fan. So therefore, he cannot be on the top 10 at all because of that reason. So that's the other reason why.
Like, my thing is, like, and just think of, like, all those Nelly songs, too. Like, all the Nelly songs from
Country Grammar. Why isn't Country Grammar on here?
Country Grammar wasn't on there. Dilemma wasn't on there, and Dilemma was one of the longest charting songs I ever remember. That and In the Club basically ruled my sophomore year of high school.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, once again, these are these people, the selections that they made. So, but what this does do is it does tell me, well, perhaps we need to make a list of our own and have because these people don't have it correct. This is
you don't want me to make a list. It's just going to be back that ass up 10 times.
Oh no. Well, you can't make that every.
I'm sure 2 Chainz would probably be on there somewhere.
Every track from the Trap House 3.
Yeah.
No, Trap House 4.
Trap House 4. That's what I always wanted. Like, that's the thing about Gucci Mane. Every time I'm like, just tell me more about that Trap House, and he does. So.
Gucci Mane.
Exactly.
Gucci Mane.
Big Goo-wop.
Well, we'll see. So that pretty much concludes that list. We have one final topic we have to discuss because I'm very curious to know what some of the choices are going to be thus far. So we've already finished the first quarter of 2015. Who would y'all say is currently wearing hip hop's crown? Now, if you need a reminder of what artists made songs, of course we had Joey Badass, Lupe Fiasco. They both dropped the album in January. You had Kendrick drop his album not too long ago, and a few other artists in between. So let's ask you guys. Let's just go around the room and see which artist do we think is currently, the one that's reigning hip hop right now. So how about you go first, Madison?
Are we still here?
Yeah, you guys are here. Yeah, we can hear you now.
I'm not sure there is a crown, man. I mean, if I had to give it to anyone, I'd probably give it to J. Cole. With that being said, I think Mick Jenkins is currently the prince of hip hop, and Chicago's his kingdom. But when we talk about hip hop crown, we're usually strictly talking about mainstream artists. And there's a whole lot of artists I can think that I like better. They have made music in the last year, or even the last few months that I would think are better artists and I enjoy more. But if I had to put a crown on somebody as far as popularity and quality goes, I'm gonna put it on J. Cole.
Interesting. So how about you, Madison?
I don't know, actually. I really enjoyed that the Ludacris album. I don't know if I would name him king, but I have to agree with I have to agree with Matt. I really enjoyed J. Cole's for Sailor's Drive. I really enjoyed him as an artist. He seems pretty down to earth. I I think he deserves it. I would put him at the top.
It's conscious and it's relatively conscious and it's easy to digest. And it left an impression on me at least. So yeah, I it's the only one I think that fits.
So
Y'all not gonna like my answer.
So so Joe, you can go next. Let me just say right now, no, you cannot say Migos. I don't know if they dropped the song in the first so far this year, but no.
No, I can't say Migos because they're locked up now.
Oh.
Free Migos. Honestly, if I'm being realistic, the artist that I've listened to the most and has had the most quality stuff that I think, Future dropped 2 mixtapes this year, not to mention Monster at the end of last year, and they're all great. Like there's like maybe one bad song out of the, let's say, 35 songs that were released. It's just he's sacrificing his body with codeine to give the world great music.
Okay, I'll have to make a response to that what you just said. I got respect for Future, but because of the way he did Sierra, I will never ever look at this guy again. The way and say, yeah, this is a great artist. Nah, this guy is a player, messing around on his woman. So no, I can't respect that. What I will say is this: I'll check out the music and I'll let you know what I think about that next week. I think everybody is expecting me to say Kendrick is the king. And I must say this: I have listened to that album probably more so than any other album so far this year. However, I have been listening to the Tyler the Creator album, and once again, like we said last week, the album is worth listening to. The album really is worth listening to, in my personal opinion.
I don't like Tyler the Creator as a general rule. Is it's still worth listening to?
Oh yeah.
You know, someone who considers himself a non-fan. I don't necessarily dislike his work either, but I definitely don't consider myself a fan.
What he did on this album is he took everything that he's listened to and blended it together to make the album that he thinks is the perfect album. So you hear stuff like nerd on there, like you hear like the nerd influences, and then you hear like metal influences, and then you hear like the actual hip hop influences. And it just all blends together, and it's an amazing album. It's an amazing body of work.
Yeah, definitely.
What's the name of that record?
Cherry Bomb.
Yeah, Cherry Bomb. Another thing about the album is that I mean it's when I say that the crown title is that is very subjective to say that this is the person that's running the game now. So I don't know if. I mean, for me, it's going to be a tie. I do like that y'all mentioned J. Cole because, again, I very much enjoyed that album. I enjoyed the videos he's been dropping for these songs as well. They all have a message. So it's difficult to just narrow down and say. Of course, Kendrick dominant, but of course, as we have already said several times, that album is not for everybody that he released.
It's not as easily digestible as the Cole record for one.
Yeah.
And actually, somebody on the YouTube on a YouTube comment said that, and I don't remember who this was, but they said that just because you didn't like the album, it's probably not going to stop you from being a fan. And that really resonated with me, right? It's just because I didn't necessarily love the album, I still respect and consider myself a Kendrick fan. It didn't turn me off from him as an artist. It just wasn't necessarily a project for me.
Was that between them slandering the shit out of me?
Yeah, they heard the trash comment, and that was it. That set it off. Set off a chain reaction.
Yep.
What you thought it was trash, Joe?
No, we're not gonna do this.
No, we're not gonna go into that again because then in this video we'll get some likes.
I sarcastically said trash vote at the beginning, like mocking people on Twitter, and everybody thought that I was serious when I said it was trash.
Yeah, sarcasm sometimes.
He was serious. He was very serious.
Hard to catch.
He was serious about making a joke, so that's what it was.
Not being serious is serious business, man.
True. Yeah, I mean, We'll see. We'll see. I'm not really sure which other albums are coming out now. I know the Yellow Wolf just dropped an album. I haven't listened to that yet, so I'm not sure.
I have no intention of listening to it.
Oh, really? I thought you was a fan.
I'm not a Yellow Wolf fan. No, hell no.
Oh man, I thought somebody was a fan. Charles or somebody else.
Charles is a fan.
Yeah.
Charles liked his EP and his mixtape shit, but I don't think he again, I can't speak for him, but I think he had some issues with the album.
Okay.
Not this album, but one of his previous albums. But that's something to discuss next week. So.
Yeah, we definitely will discuss that next week. So that pretty much concludes our topics for this week. Once again, we're missing some people. They will be back next week.
Maybe. Charles got Ebola.
Well, we wish Charles a speedy recovery. We hope that he gets all of the attention he needs so he is able to successfully beat the Ebola virus and tell us all about his experience next week. So, if you guys have any closing thoughts, first and foremost, I'll let you go first, Madison.
I'm just thankful that I got to be on the show. I've been an avid listener for a while now. I just glad I got to put my 2 cents in. I'm thankful for that. Thanks.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for jumping on at the last minute. You are more than welcome to come on other episodes where we will be able to discuss even more. I think we did pretty good with what we had today, but we had more people. It could have been a lot more discussions going on. So next time, definitely welcome anytime to jump on. No problem. So how about you, Matthew? Any final words?
I'm glad. In hindsight, I know when we started, we were kind of trudging but I'm really glad that we managed to pull this together and get a show done. And that kind of speaks to the quality of the people that are involved in this project. Everybody, like when people can't make it, somebody steps in, and just that old kind of thespian motto, the show must go on, and it went on, and it turned out pretty good. So.
I agree 100%. Charles will be proud of what you guys brought to the table. As I said, I do not look presentable at the moment. We're dealing with allergies, so I wasn't at my A game today, but I will be next week. So we'll talk about that next week. So how about you, Joe? Final words?
It was cool. It was kind of nice. Like, I like the, how we have, like, everybody on, but it was kind of nice just to have, like, a few people this time. So get out the ideas and stuff. I mean, that's not a knock on anybody. Like, it's just kind of nice to switch it up every now and then.
You know what? That does sound like a knock. I'm going to make sure they respond to that in the next episode. Yeah, he said a few people. He emphasized a few people instead of rest of them.
But yeah, it was cool. So yeah, as always, it's always fun. Check out joehovasmf.com, indie hip hop right there, and hopefully I'm gonna get creative again and start writing some stuff for Koalition because I haven't written anything since that J Electronica piece. So
I got some ideas for you. We'll talk after this show.
Cool. I'm down.
Yeah. So. Of course, once again, I would like to thank everybody for tuning in to the show. Thank everybody on the cast for being able to do this last-minute show. We do hope that Charles gets better. Shout-outs to AJ, Blue, everybody that's normally on the show. Be well. Hope all y'all are doing well. We hope to have y'all on the next show. Thank the fans for tuning in, and we will see you all next week, episode 28. So until then, take care and peace out.